Watch this. One prompt. Claude calls 3 tools on its own. Verify the customer, look up the order, issue the refund. Nobody told it that order. And the whole thing is controlled by one field in the API response. Miss that field, and your agent breaks silently. That field is called stop reason, and it's the single most tested idea on Anthropic's Claude Certified Architect exam. Domain 1, Agentic Architecture, is 27% of your score. Every scenario question in it comes back to one thing. Does your loop terminate on the model's signal or on your guess? Here's the problem. Almost every agent tutorial online writes this loop wrong. They use a for loop. They parse text. They forget half the conversation history. It works in the demo. Then it fails in production, and it fails silently, which is worse. By the end of this video, you'll write the loop correctly, and you'll know exactly why every wrong version is wrong. So what is an agentic loop, actually? Think of a surgeon. The surgeon never reaches into the instrument tray. They say scalpel, and a nurse puts it in their hand. Claude works exactly like that. Anthropic's docs put it bluntly. The model never executes anything on its own. It emits a structured request, your code runs the operation, and the result flows back. That round trip, repeated, is the agentic loop. 5 steps. 1. You send the request with your tools and the conversation so far. 2. Claude answers with a tool call. 3. Your code executes that tool. 4. You send the result back. 5. Repeat until Claude says it's finished. And here's the part people skip. Claude is not following a script you wrote. It picks the tool and the order based on context. You defined what's possible. It decides what's next. Which brings up the misconception that costs people points. Most developers think an agent is just a fancy if-else tree. Call this function, then that one, then return. Watch where that breaks. Hardcode verify customer, look up order, issue refund, and it runs beautifully until the order doesn't exist, until the customer wants an explanation, not a refund, until it needs to escalate to a human. Your tree has no branch for reality. Here's the correct model. Anthropic's engineering team draws the line like this. Workflows are systems where language models are orchestrated through predefined code paths. Agents are systems where the model dynamically directs its own process and tool usage. Printed directions versus GPS. Printed directions assume the road is open. GPS recalculates. And the proof is Claude Code. Nobody wrote a decision tree for your codebase. It reads, greps, edits, and tests, choosing every step live. Okay, the control signal. Before I show you, guess how many different values stop reason can return. Hold that number. Every response from the Claude API carries a stop reason field. It's the model telling you what it just did and what it needs from you next. Think of it as a turn signal. The car tells you where it's going before you have to react. 2 values run the happy path. Stop reason equals tool use. Claude wants a tool executed. Your job, run the tools, append the results, call the API again. Stop reason equals end turn. Claude is done. Your job, return the answer to the user. So the canonical loop is a while loop keyed on stop reason. While it's tool use, keep going. That's the entire control flow. And notice what it is not. It's not a counter. It's not string matching. It's a deterministic field that is always present and designed for exactly this purpose. On the exam, if an answer choice controls the loop with anything else, that's the wrong answer. Now, what number did you guess? Because everything I just told you is correct and incomplete. Anthropic's documentation says the loop exits on any stop reason other than tool use, not just end turn. 4 others. Max tokens. Claude ran out of output room mid-thought. The response is truncated. Treating that as done ships half an answer to your user. Stop sequence. It hit a string you configured. Refusal. Safety classifiers declined. There may be no content at all. Code that reads content 0 crashes right here. And if you're using server-side tools like web search, there's a 5th pause turn. That's not the call ending. That's being put on hold. The server-side loop hit its own iteration cap and wants you to resend so it can continue. So a 2-branch loop isn't just incomplete, it's a bug. The correct pattern is handle tool use, handle end turn, and raise on anything you don't recognize. Loudly. Never fall through. Which brings us to the bug I actually shipped. Remember the 3 tool calls from the intro? Here's what the conversation history had to look like for that to work. When Claude requests a tool, you append 2 entries, not 1. 2. Entry 1, Claude's own message, containing the tool use block with its ID. That's already in the response. You just have to put it back in. Entry 2, a user role message containing a tool result block whose tool use ID exactly matches the ID from entry 1. Think of it as a court transcript. You cannot record the answer without recording the question. Drop the assistant's turn, and the model sees a result with nothing that asked for it. 2 rules catch people here. The tool use ID must match exactly, and if Claude called 3 tools in parallel, all 3 results go back in one single user message. Split them across separate messages, and you quietly train Claude to stop calling tools in parallel. No error, just a slower agent. So here are the 3 ways this goes wrong, ranked by how often I see them. 1. Text parsing. If done in response.lower, this is listening for someone to say finished through a wall instead of reading the sign on the door. Model wording varies every run. Anthropic's docs have a great line for this. If you're writing a regex to extract a decision from model output, that decision should have been a tool call. 2. The for loop, for I in range of 5. The cap is now your primary termination check. So a task that needs 6 steps returns max iterations reached with the work half done. 3. Appending only the result and forgetting the assistant turn. That's the bug we just fixed. Now the fix for number 2 is the interesting one. Keep the cap. Set it to 50. But it's a smoke detector, not a kitchen timer. A timer ending means dinner is ready. A smoke detector going off means something is burning. If that cap ever fires, you don't have a slow task. You have an infinite loop. Now the honest part, because this is where the tutorials stop. Stop reason tells you Claude stopped talking. It does not tell you the task succeeded. End-door turn on a refund agent means Claude finished its turn, not that money moved. If correctness matters, you verify with your own code, outside the loop. The loop also doesn't cap your spend. Every iteration resends the entire conversation history, so a 15-step trajectory is not 15 times one call. It grows faster than that. Watch it. And if you'd rather not handwrite any of this, good news. The Anthropic SDKs ship a tool runner that drives the whole loop for you. Use it in production, but write the loop by hand once, because the exam will hand you a broken one and ask what's wrong with it. So, stop reason is primary, the cap is a smoke detector, append both entries, and handle every exit, not 2. That's lesson 1.1. Next up is 1.2, multi-agent orchestration. One coordinator, many subagents, hub and spoke, and the rule that catches almost everyone. A subagent inherits nothing, not one word of the coordinator's context. If you're studying for this certification, subscribe. I'm building the full Domain 1 series, one lesson at a time. See you in the next one.